Now, is this you? Getting stuck in the downswing, maybe blocking it massively out towards the right or snap hooking it to the left, and no matter what you do, you cannot fix it. Well, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do throughout your golf swing here to always keep the club in front of you and never to get stuck again, because there's things we need to do: set up, backswing and downswing to make a nice unstuck club out in front of us move, like we see all the best players in the world do, happen automatically. So let's get to it. So number one, the setup. So setup is so huge to keeping the club out in front of you and not getting stuck. Because for guys who constantly get stuck in the downswing, one of the big things we see is that trail arm being stuck behind the seam line. If you're there, you're in a no man's land, that's for certain. So what we want to do, we want to make sure that we're setting up with the underside of the elbow pointing in front of us, slightly to the left at setup there. Because what that's going to do, that is, as we're moving back in our backswing, that's going to make the right arm fold and stay in front of the seam line. So then as we move down into the downswing, you can see the right arm drives in naturally, and that keeps the arms in front. So just make sure that underside of the elbow there, pointing in front or slightly to the right, then grip the club. Nice and relaxed, don't make it too locked and tense. And that's going to get you in a much better spot to be able to naturally keep this club a little bit more in front of you, because it keeps the right arm nicely in front of the body. Because what we see amateurs who chronically get stuck do, they'll set up to the golf ball with the inside of their elbow pointing pretty much down the target line. Now what that will do, that'll put your right shoulder into too much internal rotation. So then as you move back, the only place your right arm can go is by pulling back. And then it's already behind the seam line. So from there, as we turn down, we're stuck. So again, making sure we're in that nice setup, underside of the elbow, pointing in front to avoid that problem. And that's how we set up to not get stuck. So for the backswing, we need to make sure we do two things here, which are done at the same time. And I'm going to show you with this alignment stick here. So we want to get good in sequence backswing rotation. So people always disregard their backswing rotation. They think so much about the downswing, they forget about the backswing. So what we need to do, we need to make sure that we don't turn our hips too early. And in our takeaway, we keep our hips, as you can see with this stick here, pretty much static in its rotation in the takeaway. So you can see the stick has barely moved there. And then from there, what we do, we rotate the hips up to the top of the swing. So whilst we do that, we make sure the arms after the takeaway go up. So they don't go up on their own with no rotation. That means a lack of depth. Now you've got to swing over the top. Don't want to do the opposite problem. They go, of course, up on their own, and the rotation of the body now, the hips turning, gets you moving around. Rotation of the body controls the around movement. Your arms control the up movement. So no movement of the hips in the takeaway, and then rotate the hips, but the arms go up. And then as we move down, the arms are going to move in front of the body a little bit easier. Because what we see so many amateur golfers do, and this is something that even for me as a professional, I have this fault from time to time when I'm not swinging well as well. I get a little bit stuck, and my reason is because I rotate my hips way too early. Rotating the hips early is going to move your hands way too around you too early. So then there's not enough upward movement you could do with your arms. They're still going to get too low and too stuck around you. So the lower our left arm is, and the more deep, so deep means more behind, our hands are, the more in to out we're going to swing, the more stuck we're going to get. So that's where players don't have enough upward movement of the arms, or they just turn their hips too early. You're going to get that horrible stuck movement. And for me there, that resulted in a chunk hook. So again, like we said, what we want to do, we want to keep the hip turn quiet in the takeaway, and then rotate it up. That prevents the club from whipping in too much too early. And we want to make sure the arms are feeling like they're going up. The rotation is going to bring them around nicely. And then we're going to be in a good spot at the top and be in the backswing in a place to where we won't be getting too stuck, because we won't be too deep at the top of our swing. Quiet hips, then turn the hips after the takeaway, arms go up. So let's talk about the start of the downswing, super important. So when we start our downswing, what we want to do, we want our left hip to go back, but we want the left side of our pelvis here to stay down as we do so. So keeping the tilt, the golf ball's on the ground, so we need to stay tilted with the lead side lower to be able to efficiently keep the club on the arc and move nicely, not get the club stuck. So it's lead hip goes down, and it starts to move back. So the sensation is like the middle of your belt buckle goes on top of your left heel as you transition down. So doing both of those is going to get you, one, when we move the left hip back, it's going to get you into flexion. You can see what that does. That flexes the upper body more down. If the left hip goes back, upper body goes down. That collects the arms in front of you. And moving the tilt in a good spot sets you up to be able to rotate through the rest of the downswing, which is going to be our next point to keep everything turning through. So what we see amateurs do for this, people who really get stuck all the time, is you'll see them start the downswing via this. Boop, a bump with the left hip. So if you're bumping the left hip, you're going to get stuck. No matter where you are at the top, you're most likely going to get quite stuck at some point in the downswing. So when you hike the left hip up, that loses your tilt. And you can see as a reaction straight away, my upper body moves back away from the target. So look what happens to the golf club. A lot of players try to do this to shallow the golf club. And yes, it does shallow the club, but it shallows the club without any meaning of shallowing. We shallow to rotate the body. Shallowing the shaft allows the rotation to functionally work. So if we shallow it through bumping the hips, which tilts the upper body back, I can't rotate my body from here because it's going to fry my lower back, it's going to injure me. So the body won't do that. So now we have this really stuck downswing. We can't get the club back in front of us at all. So you will normally see quite an in-to-out path. And quite often, just like that, again, chunk the golf ball. Because if we move the upper body back from that left side bumping towards, which also lifts the left side of the pelvis up, the low point's going to get behind the ball very easily. So again, keep that left side down, but get yourself into flexion. That keeps the club out in front of you and starts you off for a good rotational sequencing in the downswing. And just before we get to the rest of the downswing, what you need to feel, and then we're getting some great drills to do for this to get it automatically and naturally, a big myth to address. You're not getting stuck because you're rotating your hips too clearly. I hear this all the time. And this absolutely is such a myth, because if you rotate your hips too quickly in the correct way, go into flexion, left side, go back and remaining in tilt, you're just going to flex down, the arms are going to move out in front of you. So your arms are just, the better your hip movement, if you do it via flexing, left hip going back and down, your club's just going to get out in front of you. What people suffer with when they are rotating their hips too early and getting them stuck, because you can do that if you do it incorrectly, and that's with the right side driving forward. If you're trying to rotate with your right side as a right-handed golfer and you kick the right leg forward, what's going to happen to your trail arm now? It's stuck behind the seam line because the mass of my right side of my body has just moved more forward. So it looks like, yes, I'm rotating the hips like crazy, doesn't it? But one, I'm just moving my body more forward is all I'm doing. And two, I might look like I'm getting very good early hip rotation, but now I can't do anything else. I've maxed out the movement, so then I'm just firing and flipping. So that's where if you're someone who thinks and feels like you are spinning out your hips, look at your right side. You'll quite often see right heel drive as you do that as well, which is a sign that you pushed the right hip too far forward. So that will result, oh, that actually hurt my back quite a little bit, that did. So you will see I actually saved that really well. But just from that reaction I had where that actually hurt my lower back quite a little bit, it is not a good move to do. So you're not spinning out your hips because you're moving them too fast, you're just moving them incorrectly. Let's get to the downswing portion for you to continue to do to absolutely not get stuck. So okay, for the mid to late downswing now, what we need to do is keep the body rotating. If we keep the body turning and keep that efficient turn of lower body and upper body, the club's going to remain on path. It's not going to get stuck. Only if we slow down our rotation after our good start, maybe the upper body slowing down, then you might have a little bit more of an excessive into-out path than normal. Even if you're at this point, you're a pretty good golfer. You've got some things in a really good spot. So we really need to make sure we are continuing to turn going through the golf ball. This is something that I'm always working out with my golf swing, and that's really going to help. So for me, the better I turn, the more the path there gets closer to zero. So absolutely, keep the body turning. Keeps the club moving on the arc. If you've done that good start of the downswing, you've done the good setup, you've done the good backswing, the club's pretty much not going to be stuck, but it's just to keep everything going and to compress the ball. Because if you keep rotating, especially with the lower body and upper body, create some shaft link, gives you some good compression, but the club is already out in front of you now. So guys, here are the drills. So I'm going to have the main drill to do at the end of this drill section. And what we're going to do here, we're going to run through a drill for each setup, backswing, of course downswing, and then the later downswing. So transition then downswings from there. So set up, essentially we don't really need to do a drill. We just get that arm into a good spot, boom, we're there. So for the backswing now, we don't want to be, of course, having too early of a movement of the hips. That's not what we want. Of course, we don't want to be pulling the arms in also, but we don't want to be making sure, of course, that everything's out of sequence. So my favorite drill, I've actually got two to do with you for this. First one here is working with the alignment stick. So just like when I was demonstrating, I had the alignment stick through my belt loops. This is great. We're going to revisit this drill in a minute. So this is going to show you your hip rotation. So like we said, we don't want any hip rotation in that early backswing. This is a drill that I really need to do as well. And then what we do from there, we turn up and the arms go up at the same time. Again, the around motion makes the arm still go around me, but the up, make sure the club doesn't get too deep. So what I want you to do, just get into setup position, nice right arm at setup, take away and pause, now turn, arms up and through. So again, when you're doing the drill, don't worry, oh, that one just didn't want to be picked up. Don't worry about how you hit it. It's actually probably better it didn't pick that up because you'll be more focused on getting a good rep if you don't see the ball flight. But just get the reps in from there and get the motion. Again, drilling gets into your swing if you've done enough of it. So there we go. Now, a drill to start the downswing. I really like this one. So this one ultimately gives you a really, really good hip movement, which is ultimately what we need to do to not get overly stuck. So if we grab a club, a wedge preferably, put it underneath our right heel and then angle the wedge to where it's directly behind your left calf. Now, what I want you to do is you're moving down that downswing. I want you to get the left side going back to where it tries its best to hit the club that's behind your left leg as soon as you can. So that's where you'll notice as soon as you can, it'll be really around impact, maybe not at all, but we know that intent is pushing it back, which is what we want. So what that is doing, that is getting the left side moving back, whilst if our left side goes back, we're going to be maintaining our tilt. Because if we do our good old bump, we're going to have that right side drive up, we're going to lose tilt, we're going to lose the club underneath our foot. Now, we do want to let the club go after impact. Don't keep it underneath your foot the whole time, but it's a brilliant one to get the left side move back, keep your tilt, and ultimately get in good hip motion. You can't drive that right foot too early. So if you feel like you're spinning out, which we discussed is your right side of your body overactive, this is the drill for you. I absolutely love this one. This one or the chair drill, absolutely, really, really good for this. So let me hit one here. Left leg goes back to hit the club behind my leg. Let the club go after impact. Absolutely brilliant. Now for the later portion of the downswing, we want to keep our body rotating. So we want to keep lower body rotating. Now, if we're moving our left side back, we're going to be generally doing that if we keep pushing it back all the way through. We want our chest, of course, to keep rotating. Someone like myself, I can sometimes have the chest slow down and deliver too much of an into-out path just because of that. So a drill that I really like, because it gets you in a really good impact position, you just swing from there. I know a lot of you guys who've seen this drill before absolutely love this, so this is going to be a really good one for this issue. Training rotation in the downswing is great for guys who get stuck. Absolutely the best thing you could do. You've got to have those other elements in there for sure as well though. So, okay, if we grab our club, put our club on our side here, and then what we do, we rotate to where that club is on top of the golf ball, and then put the club behind the ball, get yourself into a position here so you can see hips are open, chest is open, weight is 90% on my left leg, and you can see a nice bent right arm, and just swing back and swing through for a half swing, and just spring through the ball. So I really, really like it. So even for such a small little swing, it's still gone a really good distance. So what I see pretty much straight away when I do this drill is this number get much better. I can sometimes deliver my face angle too much left. So that's where you will see, you've probably seen it for today. I will, if always, when I hit a bad shot, it will be a slight pull. So that's because sometimes my chest rotation slows down. So that being 2 degrees to the right, means my chest rotation has carried on through, which means my club face has stayed more stable, and I've got a little bit more lean on the shaft as well, which also stops the face from closing down too much. So you might notice that yourself, might notice some kind of little, kind of like, let's say right shots, little kind of punch draws. So again, club on your side, get to the ball, set up from there, club down, halfway up, so halfway back, and then spring through. Oh, that was nice. It's pretty much the same distance. So again, absolutely lovely, pretty much neutral, the path, just bent it back a little bit. So if that's your part, again, you're a pretty good golfer if that is your only issue. And then just rip it out from there. But okay, What about if you want to do something that targets the whole thing? Let's get straight to that. Okay, our drill to target the whole thing. Just like I said, we're going to revisit this drill again. Stick, put it on equal sides here. And all I want you to do is not hit this in the downswing. So the classic drill to keep you with the club out in front. Now, be very aware of what is causing you to get stuck. That's going to be your focal point, because you don't need to think of all of these to be able to not get stuck. It's a big misconception. You don't need to think of everything. Just what applies to you. So for me, for example, I can certainly fall in this category of a stuck golfer from time to time. So for me, what I feel as I'm moving here, I feel like my right hip doesn't move back so quickly, so not in a takeaway. But I feel there that as I'm turning down and coming through the golf ball, I'm a lot more dominant with my chest. I actually feel my chest get on top of my left leg and swivel and rotate. So that's where the later portion of the downswing is my kind of feel, along with the first start there. So apply what is right for you, and then just make sure simply you don't hit this in the downswing. But again, make sure that you're still getting a full turn. So many golfers, if they are doing this drill, you can cheat this drill by just picking your arms up and across, and you will never hit that in a million years. But that's just going to make you aggressively out to win, as we can see there. Oh, look at that, I matched 11.3, club path 11.3 face angle. That doesn't happen too often. But anyway, that ball will be lost pretty much. So you still want to rotate, because that's going to give you space to still deliver the club on path whilst missing this. So, okay, let's do one here. Let's see how good we can do for it. Oh, I feel like I had that tiny bit toey. I actually slowed down a little bit. I'm surprised I didn't hit this. Maybe that last shot on the demonstration shook me. So let's do another one. Wouldn't be happy really wouldn't be happy with that. That's actually got way more left than I thought. So that's where still get the aggressive turn. So for me, for feedback, it's also really good for when you're practicing. No, of course, it takes a little bit of time to be able to realize this, but exactly when you hit a bad shot, what you've done. Of course, if you're a stuck golfer, you're gonna have a good idea what you've done from here, from this video. But for me, what was that? Last minute through the chest, later downswing, I didn't turn hard enough. Essentially it. And we could see for me, that just closes down the face a ton. Path wasn't too bad though, because I missed this in the early downswing. So okay, let's just turn a little bit more, let's say assertive through the golf ball. Oh, that felt better. That was a nice long shot. Still could have done a little bit better with it, but much, much better from the last one, 161, 170 total. Wow, it's pretty good. So, absolutely, apply what one is for you from this. So you've got to know your swing. I always recommend for these type of videos that I put on my channel is have a video of your own golf swing already and be like scrolling through it as you're watching through the video, so you can see, of course, where you are on this. And if you need help, there's always me here on Skillist, so online lessons. There's a link in the description. You can go straight to that. There's also loads of courses on there. I am going to be bringing out 2 new courses for the next couple months here. So just wrote out the scripts for them. I've got to film them. They're really good ones that a lot of you have been asking for as well. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. But again, there's courses down there. You can work one-to-one with me. Many different plans there on Skillist to work with me anywhere in the world. All you need to do is send your videos through to me, and I'll analyze them, film like me, with doing almost like me on camera, like a YouTube video, personalized for you. And absolutely be the best way if you want that one-to-one help with me from anywhere in the world, any time zone, whenever you want. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction, just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified anytime I upload a video.